Yo, what's up lads? So I've recently ascended my Nova, and the only reason I did this at first is because I know he's a very good Atuma counter, and I didn't really have any of them in my deck, so that's the only reason I ended up ascending Nova. Plus I knew he was going to be a tactic defender for the next meta in Battlegrounds, so he should be good for that as well. But it turns out this man counters a lot of the trickier defenders that's relevant right now. He counters Bullseye, Nightcrawler. He's a very fast nuke against tech defenders, and with his non-contact medium attacks he makes fights like Electro, Atuma, Korg very easy. So this is the victory track meta, and you saw he nuked that Shuri. That was a rank 2 Shuri, just your average tech defender, and Nova is very fast in those matchups. This is the gladiator circuit meta though, with fisticuffs, so I am running suicides right now, but I'm not gaining any buffs with Nova at the start of the fight. And you'll see we were slapping there, and the reason we were doing so much damage without our buffs is because Nova gains a massive attack increase for how far he dashes. This is in his SIG ability, so the amount of distance Nova dashes, the more attack rating he will gain on his medium attacks. And we're fighting this Nightcrawler here, and when you dash forward and backwards with Nova, you will also gain power. So what I like to do against Nightcrawler is just take it slow, dash forwards and backwards to build my power, and when I'm at SB1, I'm going to throw that to gain the true strike, and then I completely shut off Nightcrawler's evade. The only thing you need to know about this fight is you must activate your SB1 when you're at 75 charges or above that, otherwise you will not get the true strike. And next up we got an ascended Bullseye, and I'm just going to take this slow like I did in the Nightcrawler fight, build up some power so I can get to my SB1 and activate my true strike so I can stop Bullseye from evading. Now, if Bullseye decides to throw an SB1, you are going to take some damage. The average fight with Nova versus Bullseye, you're going to come out about 85% health, because he normally is pretty trigger happy with the SB1. But if you get lucky and he doesn't throw a special, you can kill him before he reaches an SB3 pretty easily. So if you play it perfectly, / if you get good AI, you can finish a Bullseye like this, 92% health. 40 seconds, and if it doesn't go well and he throws an SB1, you'll still finish the fight in about 40 seconds, 85% health. So he is a very, very solid Bullseye counter that not many people are aware of. And next up we got an Absman. Nova doesn't have many expiring buffs, so he can take some Mystic champions. Nova's damage is very strong, but he does need high SIG, because at max SIG you increase your buff duration by 75%, so if he's at low SIG, Nova is much harder to play. He technically can do everything he can duped, unduped, apart from the extra burst damage on the medium attacks, but he will be much harder to play. So I know a lot of people are asking for a 7-star Nova, but he definitely won't be the best 7-star to get right now, because he benefits a lot of max SIG, and you don't really want to give your 6 stones to Nova. Like, he's a great champ, great dual use champ for BGs, but you don't want to be giving 7-star 6 stones to him, do you? And here we got a Photon, and I would say Nova is actually a pretty safe fight for Photon. We're going to take it slow and build our power by dashing in and dashing forwards. When I did this fight, Ghost was so surprised. He was lost for words. He was like, how is Nova nuking Photon? But Photon does have massive energy resistance, but critical hits will bypass any resistance on the defender. That's why we're still getting the big 20k mediums. Our SB2 is going to do a lot of damage there because we're unblockable, and we still have the unblockable buff after we knocked her down with a special 2, so it was safe to hit her there, so there was no risk at all in this fight. That special 1 didn't even push her to a special 3, so even if that special 1 didn't crit and didn't kill her, we still would have been able to finish her off by either intercepting or baiting out a heavy attack. So yeah, Nova's great for Photon. He's a really great attacker in general. He's actually really versatile, and he's good on defense as well, man. So I do recommend you rank your Novas and ascend him, and the fact that he needs max SIG, even if he does become a 7-star, he will still be much better as a 6-star for a long time. Here we got a Hulkling. We have no way to deal with his indestructible, no way to deal with that regen. The only thing Nova has is pure damage in this fight, and Nova hits very hard, so it's not going to be a problem for us. Luckily, our SB2 did crit there, so the fight is a bit faster, but Nova does crit pretty often. I find Nova has a pretty good crit rate. It's rare that I'll have a fight with Nova and he doesn't crit. Easily finished off that Hulkling there, and this was actually the second attempt of fighting Hulkling, because the first attempt I ate an SB3. But watch this. You know, if you've ever ate a Hulkling SB3, you will die off it. Like, that will completely rinse your health bar. We only took 11% off that SB3, and the reason for it is Nova reduces damage off unblockable and critical hits by 75%. So that's actually a really nice utility for attack as well on defense. That's what made him so OP in equipment with your best shot meta on defense as well, because he would just take 75% less damage from guaranteed critical hits. So he was a tank in that meta and pretty much impossible to get down. He's a great counter for Korg. All his attacks are energy, so Korg's going to be taking slightly more damage than other champions. Well, Korg has all that critical resistance, so we don't crit as often against Korg, so I think it evens out. But our medium attacks are also non-contact, so yeah, great counter for Korg. I actually did this fight in a Battleground Brawl, and I'm pretty sure it won me a game. And next up we got on the Tumor, of course, non-contact medium attack, so just like Electro, Nova bypasses all of that BS, and Nova is definitely one of the faster counters for a Tumor in BGs, and he's one of the only champions that can finish 100% health. Shuri can finish 100% health in this fight, of course, but Shuri isn't the fastest Battlegrounds attacker around, and Nova is definitely faster than Shuri on attack. Not saying he's a better champ than Shuri at all, but he's definitely faster than Shuri. If I had the choice between Nova and Shuri against Tumor in Battlegrounds, I'm going Nova all day, because I know that's going to be about a 30-40 second fight. This is in the fisticuffs meta, and I am running suicides, so our damage is increased a tiny bit, but I also start off with fisticuffs, which means I can't gain buffs for the first 10 seconds, so that evens out. Back to victory track now, and most of these fights are in the victory track, just so you can see what Nova is like in a normal meta. And the next meta in Battlegrounds is the Ex Magica War Tactic, and Nova's going to be great for that because he is a tactic defender, so he will be great on defense, and if they draft a good counter for him, you can flip it round and use him on offense, and he can nuke tech defenders very fast. Good counter to Electro, good counter to Bullseye, good counter to Nightcrawler, and in general, just a pretty fast champion. He's not as fast as Hulkling or CGR, of course, but he's not far off, man. Like, he's about 10 seconds slower than them champions, so that's still a very fast speed, very respectable. I'll quickly explain how to play Nova, because I'm sure a lot of you don't know how to play him. Now, he is a bit of a complicated champion to explain, but he's a pretty easy champion to play. The first thing you need to know is, the further you dash on your medium attacks, the more damage you will do. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but imagine both of you are on separate parts of the screen like I am right now against that Killmonger. So when I dash in that far, my medium attacks are going to do increased damage. So you definitely want to dash in and dash back a lot with Nova, and doing this will also give you charges. Now, you start off with one Fury buff, but each time you gain 75 of them charges like I did just there, you will gain an extra Fury buff. You can gain up to 5 of these, but if you go to 100 charges, you will gain an unblockable buff and lose all your charges, so your Furies will expire. So the way you need to play Nova is, each time you gain 75 charges, you need to do a second medium attack. A second medium attack will lower your charges. So doing this will let you go below 75 charges again, and then you can build back up to 75 charges and gain another Fury buff. And you want to keep doing this until you're at 5 Fury buffs. And when you're at 5 Fury buffs, then you want to activate your unblockable by going to 100 charges, and while your SB2 is unblockable, it will do increased damage. So as you can see, 98% finish on this rank 2 Killmonger, and the reason we're able to take Killmonger is because of them non-contact attacks. On the medium attacks, we are not going to be taking any reverberation damage, just like Electro, just like a Tumor. And this is the last fight of the video. This is in the Gladiator Circuit meta again, so we're starting off with fisticuffs. So that means we can't gain our buffs for the first 10 seconds, but we can still build power by dashing in and dashing back, and we are running suicides in this meta, so we do have a bit of extra attack there. And the reason I'm showing this fight here is because Nova's medium attacks are non-contact, he cannot get parried. So that is very useful for fighting Iron Man Infinity War. It means when he auto blocks you, you aren't going to get stunned. So he's definitely one of the best counters for Iron Man Infinity War in BGs. This fight definitely could have been faster, but he blocked my SB2. But that's going to be the end of the video, lads. I'd appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.